Okay, good afternoon once again. I want to start immediately because of the network fluctuation to share my screen. I want to quickly look at the precision tools in Autocad. Later, I will touch on working with layers. They're very important. Uh, we have started with this last time. Check the other video file for this. Let me quickly run through the using precision tools in AutoCAD. Number one, we can use coordinate and coordinate system when we uh, when a command prompts you for a point, you can use the pointing device to specify a point, or you can enter a coordinate value at the command prompt. Also, we can use dynamic input to enter coordinate values in tooltips near the cursor. So these are available. We also use dynamic inputs, which allow us to to enter command near the cursor to help you focus on the. Okay. From where I stopped, let me continue with sharing my screen. I've talked about using coordinate system, dynamic inputs, snap to objects. Instead of entering coordinates, we can specify points relative to existing objects, such as endpoints of lines, center points of circles, or midpoints of lines. We can snap to that. We're going to see how easy it is when we start drawing. You can also restrict cursor movement. There are several tools like grid snap, orthogonal mode, and polar tracking, polar snap that are available for you to use to restrict or lock the movement of your cursor so that you can draw faster. Like orthogonal mode is like your set square that you can draw vertical and you can draw horizontally. So it's very interesting here. Also, you can combine or offset points and coordinates to specify a new point location. And you can also combine coordinate values uh, from several points, or you can specify offset from existing points, existing objects. Now you can specify distances. To specify a point, you can enter distances directly from the keyboard, you can offset, you know, you can measure intervals. You can also extract geometric information from objects using inquiry and calculation commands. We have the calculator, okay? Um, calculator can be used to access calculator function as we work with the program. Now, let me quickly demonstrate a few of these as we look at drawings, geometric objects in AutoCAD, how to draw lines, to draw polylines with straight segment. We have to draw lines and arc combination, polylines. We have to draw rectangle. We have to draw regular polygons. We have to draw circumscribed polygons. We have to draw freehand sketches, and then we have to draw arcs by specifying 3 points, to draw circle by specifying a center point and radius or diameter. These are the various ways you can draw any object. You can draw objects using different methods, but you try to look for the one that is faster so that we can save time. So the effort is to save time, okay? So that is what we're trying to do. You can also hatch area. Then we're going to do dimension and tolerances. That's when I'm going to initiate the drawing of this kind of things so that we can illustrate dimensioning and tolerances. Okay, dimension is process of adding measurements and return to a drawing, and then we can dimension variety of objects. In many orientations. So we have linear, radius, diameter, and jogged. We have angular, ordinate, and arc length. So all these are available. Now we can also do annotative text. We can add text to our drawing. These are the things we should be able to do. So let me go to work immediately. Let me stop sharing. Let me start another one. And now I want to start AutoCAD. Now this is AutoCAD screen. Now the first thing I want to do is I also want to illustrate the issue of grid, turning grid on and off. This is the snap, the snap to grid points and all that. You can do snap setting. When you click on snap setting, you'll be able to see the way, this is snap setting is set to 0.5. Now in AutoCAD, you determine the unit of your drawing, okay? AutoCAD can draw in all the units, kilometer, meter, centimeter, even in inches, feet. And, so it's now left to you to determine the unit of your drawing. So it's a bit very straightforward when you know what you're doing. If you determine to draw in meters, stick to it throughout your drawing and convert other things to meter. If you determine to draw in kilometers, stick to that throughout your drawing session. If you determine to draw in centimeter, do that. So we have polar tracking also. We have object snapping, where we snap to endpoint, midpoint, center, node, quadrant, intersection. And we also have object snap tracking, its extension, insertion, perpendicular. We also have targets. Okay, so you can do object snap tracking on extension, insertion, perpendicular, tangent, nearest, apparent intersection, parallel. Object snap, you can also have these 3D object snap, vertex, midpoint, node, center of face, and nearest to face, perpendicular. Then point cloud, these are the ones that are added. These are new ones. Edge, corner, nearest to plane, and all these are available. Then dynamic input, you can use this for dynamic input. And then you can use these quick properties. All this thing. Sorry. Okay, so these are things that we can use during the course of our drawing. Okay, now quickly, let me just move straight to AutoCAD. Let me share AutoCAD again, in case you have not seen that. So I want to draw line. I want to draw a line. For instance, I want to draw a line from here to maybe I want to have a line of I want to draw let me say a rectangle of 100 by okay, 100 by okay, 100 by say 100. Now let me say or let me say 100 by 80. Okay. Sorry, let me undo this. Now what I can do first, let me terminate this so that I want to be able to see the end. You can see that you cannot see the end of the line. I want to be able to zoom so that I can see the end and I can do zoom extent, okay? I want to see the end of the line, okay? this is actually, I want to exit the zoom, and I want to pan. Press the rolling ball on your mouse, and that's why we encourage to use an external mouse plugged to your laptop if you are using laptop. So because it's faster with external mouse because of the ball, I mean the rolling ball that can, the track ball, and that can really help us to, I mean the wheel, the center of the mouse. Okay, let me just show you this so that let me show you this so that you can see it. Let me stop sharing. Now I want to show you. Okay, this is the mouse I'm using. Now this is the wheel I'm using to. Now you have your left button, right button. So when you say, okay, this is my right hand and this is my left button, this is my right. So when I say right click, this is what I mean. When I say left click, this is just like clicking normally, and this is the ball. So it's good for you to use a external mouse like this. You can use this is called optical mouse. So you can also use wireless mouse, so but it helps a lot. So okay, so let me share my screen now. Okay, now this is actually 100 units. It can be meter, kilometer, or a centimeter, or millimeter, whatever unit I decide to draw with. Now, let me just quickly dimension this so that you can see. Okay, I want to dimension to see how. I'll click on the endpoint, and then sorry, I want to dimension. Click on the endpoint here. Okay, I also want to, yes, the endpoint here. Okay, you can see this is supposed to give me 100. Can you see that? This is 100. Okay, if I wanted to increase so that the text can be visible, I will go to dimension. I'll go to dimension style, and then I will update it. Okay. If I want to update some of these things, I'll go to dimension style, and I'll be able to update a few things. Okay, here I may need to click on modify. It's in the standard. Then I need to change the text. Okay, you can change a line. Okay, you look at all these, they're very important. If you want to suppress dim line, you can suppress dim line 1 and 2, but we need them to help us. Then line weight, this is what we're using by block. Offset from origin, okay. If you don't want it to be too close, you can offset so that it doesn't touch the object. You can offset maybe 1, I mean, probably, let's say 1 unit. And extend from this can be 0.5, and then okay, you can look at the arrow. Now let me go back to the lines. It's like it's too big. Let me change to 0.5. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Maybe this may be okay. Or let me say this should be 3. Okay, maybe that should be all right. Now, the arrows, I need to increase the arrow size. can be probably 5. Okay. Yes, this can be better. Uh, the text also can be 10 because I'm drawing something about 100. So the text can be about 10, or let's say 5. Let's try it with 5. Let's come back to check. Okay. Okay. You can see the arrow is now visible. So text, this is 5 feet. This is primary unit. Okay. Now decimal is, you can use decimal, scientific, engineering, architectural, functional. So we are using decimal, and the precision won't just be 0.0, just one decimal places. Or if you want it to be rounded up to the nearest, you just choose this and you get this. Okay. But it's better for you to use one decimal places. Then now you can do prefix or you can do suffix. Suffix is after, prefix is before. Okay. So if you do suffix, that means you can type millimeter or whatever you want to put after the dimension is displayed. So this is scale factor here, 1. And then alternative units can be, then these tolerances. Tolerances is degree of variation on the units, on the unit you select. So tolerances is a, so now let me set current and see whether it will take effect. So now let me dimension. I want to update. Now let me select this. Let me press enter. Can you see now? So it has updated and it has, can you see? So this is how it will look like when, so if I right click, zoom, and then I say zoom extent, okay, you can zoom extent. Now I may still need to adjust because it seems the 10 is too big. So I can go back to my dimensions style. I can go back to modify. I go back to my text. So I'm using 5. So I'm thinking I should use something about, let me use 2. Okay, for my text height. Okay, let me set current. Let me close. Okay, can you see now? Automatically it takes effect. Now, from this pan here. Now, for instance, if I pick another line and I start drawing from here, and I want to draw 80. Okay, and I can pan up so that I can see the end of this. Now I want to also do 100 again, and then I want to look at the other end. Okay, and either click here to end it. Okay, and I press enter. Okay, for instance, this has given me something that so zoom with the wheel. You can also dimension this from here. Okay, so this is 80. Okay, can you see that? So this has shown that I've been able to draw a rectangle of 100 by 80. Then this can become what I'll be using. Okay, I may want to close this so that it doesn't command line. No, I will not. Let me know. The command line is there to guide me, so don't close the command line. Command window is to help us. Okay, you can see I've been able to draw this rectangle. Now, this is just to show you that you can do this. Now, for instance, if you want to draw, so you have seen how I've done it. Make sure that you zoom. When you draw something, you cannot see the end. Zoom, right click, zoom extent. Okay, and then you can now see how it is. Now I'm going to, uh, I'm going to illustrate something, how to, let me come out of pan. Now let me draw a line of, okay, let me draw a rectangle of 30 by 20. Oh, sorry, I need to make sure that it's straight so that I'm going to get a perfect rectangle. Okay, and then, okay, another 30. So I want you to see everything as I'm doing, and then I'm going to say right click. I can say close. Okay, it's going to close everything. Now this, now if I dimension this, now you're going to see it's going to be exactly 30 by 20. Okay, now this is what I'm putting inside the bigger rectangle of 100 by 80. Now, this is one way you can draw. Now, I can also do what we call polyline. Okay, I can start a polyline by drawing the start point, and then I move. Let's say I need to put 50 as the length of the line, and then I want to change to arc. I type A. Now, when I type A, okay, it changes to arc. Okay. Now, if it changes to arc, now I want to get the arc. What do I need in this arc? Do I need the radius of the arc or the center of the arc? So let me just say radius. So if I type, now if I continue like this, I'm going to get the diameter, okay? So if I say I need the diameter of 25, okay? That I don't need to change anything. So it's going to be diameter, okay? And I press 25, okay? Now, anything I'm drawing now will be arc. So I need to change back to line. If I want to change back to line, I will type L and press enter, okay? So this is for line. And I'm also doing another 50 of my line. And then I want to close by typing C. If I type C, or you can right click and click C. Any one of the capital letter can be typed. If it is arc, you can type A, half width, H, L. So the first letter that's capitalized, or if you see any two letter capitalized, you have to type those two letters together. Okay. So I'm going to close it. So this is a polyline. Now you need to be able to differentiate between a polyline and segmented lines. Segmented lines are lines that are individually connected and they are still treated as individual component. Okay. But a polyline, the moment you finish drawing it, it becomes an entity. Okay. Whatever you're doing now will be applied to the entire object. So that's one of the major difference, the difference between the segmented lines and the polyline. And the polyline you can use to do a lot of things. For instance, I want to draw a polyline. I want to start with a polyline that is, let me start from a point here. Then let me say I just want 25 length. Then I turn to arc. Okay, and I want just to be probably 10. That is diameter. If we want to change to arc, it should be, I want to take to radius, that will be 5. So 10. Now I have to change to length L before I can draw straight. And now I need to also, because I'm doing 25 here, I need to type 25 here for that to be done. Now I want to change back to arc, type A now, and I want to right click and say close. Okay, can you see now? Now this is another polyline I've been able to draw that is giving something like probably a cylinder or something like that. Now this is what you can do. Now, let me see whether I can really, okay, you can see, let me see if I can dimension this properly. Okay, from here to this point. Okay, can you see this 25? Now, if I want to dimension, let me say I want to see, I want to do radius of this. Let me see radius of this. Okay, you can see it's 5. So you can see. So you can see how this can be done very nicely. So that is about that. Now I can also draw arc. I can draw circle just by specifying the center and the radius 15. Okay, so that means this is the circle with radius 15. That means diameter will be 30. Okay. Now, you can also draw a circle with center radius 2 points, 3 points, tangent radius, tangent. So let me quickly draw an arc with 3 points. Okay. Now, for instance, I want to get an arc with these 3 points. For instance, I want to get an arc. Okay, let me say I want to get an arc with this point here, another point here, another point here. You can see these 3 points. I'm going to get the arc across that. So if I want to draw an arc with start center end, I can use this. Start center angle, start center length. For instance, if I say start, okay, I start. Then I get the center. Then I want to get the length of the curve like this. That is the arc here. Okay, so you can actually draw any of these objects based on the what you have on ground. Any of these geometric objects based on what you have on ground. So it's going to be very, very easy. Now I want to move to rectangle directly. Okay, you want to just draw the rectangle directly. Now you first of all pick a corner, and then you want to specify the other corner.